Hi, thank you. Welcome for showing up today. I'm going to be talking about how to take consistent profits without trading emotionally all day. So let's go ahead and get started. So my goal here is to show you how to manage trades 24/7 automatically. Okay. So invest in yourself. I need your attention for the next few minutes. Turn on your cell phones, all distractions, shut down your Facebook, close your door, and just lock yourself in the room for a few minutes. Okay. My name is Hian Kwok, and this is my family here. I've been trading cryptocurrencies for a few years now in this new world of crypto, and I've learned how to program bots for trading cryptocurrencies. Okay. I'm passionate about family, and that's my family there. We have a third one now. Well, I'll probably need to add a new updated picture here. But my dad's been worked at night when I was a kid. He worked 7 days a week. He was always sleeping when I was awake, and vice versa. Because I felt like I never had that. He made donuts at night, so he had to work the night shift because that's when you make donuts at night, and then have fresh donuts by the next morning. Okay. So I worked, and when I grew up, I worked as an aerospace engineer. And when I got my first paycheck, I realized that taxes suck. And so I was like, hey, you know what? A third of my stuff's been taken in taxes, so why not work overtime so I could kind of compensate for all this, right? And then the more I worked, my tax rate went up to 40% or something, a little towards 40%. I was like, dude, what's going on? And I was like, why are you penalizing me for working harder and doing more? So I just didn't appreciate that. Well, eventually in 2008, when the market crashed, I got laid off, and I got laid off again in 2009. These were going, so I didn't know what was going on. It was just all new to me. Eventually, we did take over a donut shop, and with the donut shop, there was a higher. It had a little bit more higher income, but with that, there was higher expenses and higher taxes, and at the end of the day, the numbers just didn't work out. When I was doing the math, it turns out that I was making about $5 an hour working this stuff, and I was like, wait, I'm hiring someone at $8 an hour, so I'm losing $3 an hour keeping these guys on board. And I was like, something's going on. This isn't working out. So here's me right here in the middle making donuts, the twist donut. My friend Jeremy and CJ here on the new ownership. So this is the donut shop that we took over. And eventually the donut shop did go down, and we had to file bankruptcy. We did lose our house, and it was a very difficult time at the time when that happened. So eventually I had to find a job, and leaving for work was hard. I felt trapped, and it was hurt just knowing that I was doing the same thing to my daughter that my dad had done to me, not having a dad around when he was working night shifts and whatnot. So I'm kind of like the self-fulfilling prophecy of not wanting to do what he's doing, and I'm now making donuts and just like he did, right? And now eventually having to leave to go to work when I could be there for my daughter. So eventually we did close the donut shop. We had $90,000 in debt, no income, and we lost the home in bankruptcy. And really, I was scared. I was lost. I felt hurt, and I just felt like throwing up. It's just when you lose so much money, it's disgusting. I was like, ah. I'm sure you guys might know how that feels. So eventually, I told myself I gotta figure out what this money thing's all about. Okay, because it's just been having so many problems with it. So I learned about it. One day I was just driving Uber. I was like, you know what, I gotta learn. So I did some YouTubing and found out that this money thing is created out of thin air, backed by nothing. It's this fractional reserve banking system where money's created through loans, and through loans it creates more inflation, and it's like the silent theft of the system that's created to enslave us. Not only that, you first go to college, you get in debt. After college, you're trying to pay off this debt. On top of that, hey, since you have a job now, why don't you get a mortgage too, so that you can be enslaved to that for 30 years. And on top of that, what you gotta buy a car, or other things, and like furnish your house, and there comes the credit cards and taxes and all that stuff. It's just like, how do you ever dig out of this stuff, right? And then eventually you get the money fights, broken relations, broken families, and broken children, and the children replacing family with drugs and gangs. Where mom and dad is off to work, and children is just kind of left to figure things out on their own. So Bitcoin is this revolution against the fiat dollar. I started arbitraging initial coin offering at and made about $5,000, and I realized how powerful it was. And I really didn't want to trade because I told myself that I didn't want to, but eventually I told myself I had to learn it because it was so powerful, and that's what I did. So I made $800 in about 30 minutes in this heart-pounding trade experience. It was some weird dental coin or whatever, and I actually had a fat finger, and I actually bought too much, and market started pumping. This was like the third pump of the day. People in the troll box was like, "Man, dental coin, go to sleep," and it kept pumping. And so I was like, oh shoot, as soon as it pumped, everyone started buying, and I was like, dude, let me get out of here. Boom, it sold and went back down. And then I was like, let me just do it one more time. Bought it again, it pumped back up, and I sold it again, and all of that within 30 minutes, and made $800. I was like, wow. That was heart pounding, but it was a great, exciting experience, and it never happened again. Okay? So that was just like a once in a lifetime experience. But eventually I realized that if I stop trading, I stop making money, and it's no different than a job. And I'm still not able to spend time with my family. And so what I knew was I needed an asset. An asset is something that generates cash flow on its own. Okay. So eventually I started researching trade bots, but I didn't really find any that I was happy with, so I created my own. And I realized that, as I, just like a hunter, instead of trying to figure out where it's going or whatnot, we could just set up a trap where as soon as it comes in and it picks up that order that we bought, then we start selling it right away to capture all those profits. Okay, and as soon as it's in profit, we set a stop profit so that if it reverses on us, we still lock in our profits and then take profit in the opposite direction. And I'll show you how to set that in a little bit. So eventually, once I became debt free, I had a thought. Maybe I can do more than just help myself and my family. But I wasn't really sure if I was really help the world. And I realized that not only could I benefit, but I could help more families bring parents home to instill values to their own children. So I remember how I felt when I was growing up without my dad around, and that pain that I felt. I wouldn't want that for another person to feel. So if I could just help one parent at a time to just be able to stay at home with the children, I thought it would be worth it. So I decided to open myself up to the world, doing videos and teaching and sharing what I know. So every family is just one consistent, recurring, passive income away from freedom. That's what I believe. So after doing this for over a year, I made about $800 in less than 30 minutes in trading cryptocurrencies. I arbitraged ICO coins and made over $5,000. And I paid off $15,000 credit card debt from my crypto earnings, and I grew my portfolio up to about $80,000. Okay. So I discovered this the hard way, and but you get to cheat and get to do this the easy way. Okay. So the hard way is just kind of like monitoring this and like, okay, what do you think is gonna go next, up or down, and watching tick marks support down, like maybe I should buy it now, and eventually you get mentally exhausted and you're like, dude, I want to exit but I can't, or I want to get in but I can't. I'm just too foggy brain, too tired. I don't know what I'm doing, and too tired to think clearly. Okay. So eventually I didn't spend too much time with family due to watching charts all day. And so, do you want the easy way out and that does not require you to babysit tick marks? So if that's you, this is it. In the past 6 months, I've done over 20,000 bot trades, and I didn't even have to look at tick marks at all. Okay. The results aren't typical. I'll walk you through what I'm doing, but the results vary depending on market conditions. So the 3 secrets. Secret number 1, how to know which direction to trap. Secret number 2, how to trap profits. And secret number 3, how to trap in both directions. Alright, so secret number 1, how to know which direction to trap. So knowing the price, speed, and acceleration. Once it starts moving one direction, it kind of has a lot of momentum in that direction. So if you wanted to go, if it's going to positive speed, then it's going to go in a positive direction in price. If it's negative speed, it's going to go in a negative direction in price, right? It's pretty simple. You don't have two directions. So based on this, we calculate the price velocity, and in between those price velocities, we calculate the acceleration, whether that is going down or up, or is speeding up or speeding down. So based on this, negative here, what direction is this going? It's going down, right? Because it's negative. So negative velocity, which is kind of like the slope of the price, and the acceleration is how fast that slope is continuing to increase further down. Okay. So the way we do this, we just kind of manually click the direction we want to buy, and then you set the trap if you know it's in negative direction. So we'll click sell instead, and then set the price from where it is, and then create the trap. So once you create the trap, it's going to look something like this. Okay, so that will lead us to secret number 2: how to trap the profits. You enter the market with the wind behind you, and you exit the market as with the wind against you. So this is what it's going to look like. All right. So based on that direction here, we notice that, hey, the velocity is starting to move up. Okay, so we're gonna buy long as it retracts, and then as it retracts, it's gonna start to take profit, and we're gonna start to sell in profit as it returns. Okay, so this is what a trap basically look like: is to get in and then start selling it all the way up with the wind against you. Okay. So secret number 3: how to trap profit in both directions. So eventually you're going to be so far into this trap, right, that you've entered here and the price is now up here. What you want to do then is kind of locking those profits by setting trap in the opposite direction. So as it comes back down, you trap it in the opposite direction. Okay, does that make sense? All right. So that's how that goes. So let me ask you a question. I'd like to make you show you the auto tuner leverage trapper bot. Okay, so what you're gonna get with this is the leverage trapper training, and what our leverage trapper members get is the 6 weeks advanced trapper bot course, and you get the basic the price, motion, velocity, and acceleration, and also the leverage trapper bot that creates traps for you. Okay, now not only does it create traps, it also decides on a 24/7 loop. So it's fully automated. It will constantly make decisions and decide what it needs to do on whether it needs to get in or get out. Okay. All right. So know which direction to set your trap. You'll be able to know the direction, and you'll be able to set up your traps faster than doing it manually. You'll be able to set and stop profits and reverse your traps. So once it's in profit, it will lock those profits in, and it will fully automate your traps in either direction continuously throughout the day, even while you sleep. Okay, you never have to babysit tick marks all day anymore. Be emotional about your trading, or stay up late waiting for an entry or exit. All right, thanks for watching. And what I come to realize is that when you stop trading, you stop making money, which is no different than a job. So I remember the late nights when I'm staying up to 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just so tired. My health was being affected. My mind wasn't clear. It was cloudy, and I think it was taking toll on my health. Where it's just like I needed sleep, and in order for me to stay up there and be able to think clearly, it just wasn't for me. And then I realized that, you know what, I need to take myself out of the equation. I want to leave a legacy to my children that once I'm gone and all the knowledge I've accumulated from trading is in this code and it's in a bot, that it can then pass that income to the next generation. And I find that that's more valuable to me and my family, to be able to provide a cash flow whether I work or not, whether I sleep or not, when I can spend that valuable time with my children, with my family, and be able to take them on vacation. So I hope that I'm able to instill that to you as a pack leader, and that you can be a better parent, husband, and family pack leader for your family. So that's what it's all about. It's built free for you to do that. It's a 7-day free trial. Take me up on that offer. Won't charge you a thing, and if it works out for you, do nothing, and we'll assume that it's working out, and we'll go from there. Otherwise, just let me know. We'll make sure you get you canceled before the 7 days, and no harm, no foul. Thanks so much for trying the bot. Just click on the link below, and we'll see you on the inside.